It's a beautiful Thursday morning in the fabulous Florida Keys. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty. Today is supposed to be the first sunny day we've had of Fantasy Fest week. It's probably going to be hot downtown, as Thursday is going to be a very busy day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the three biggest nights of Fantasy Fest. By now, the majority of the tourists are already in town. Monday, Tuesdays, usually mostly just the locals, and then Wednesdays when the tourists start coming into town. But by the time today comes, they'll pretty well all be here for the weekend. There are far too many Fantasy Fest events going on today for me to go over all of them, but the largest, most popular one, and probably one of the most popular events in all of Fantasy Fest, is the Headdress Ball. That's tonight. I would say the Headdress Ball is probably only beaten out in attendance by the actual Saturday parade. The Headdress Ball is put on by the Key West Business Guild. It's a fundraiser. Well, all the Fantasy Fest is a fundraiser, actually. It's gotten so big that they had to move it to the Coffee Butler Amphitheater, which is where we have our concerts in Key West. No bar or no place in town itself, any place of business is big enough to accommodate it anymore. The Headdress Ball probably raises the most money out of all the Fantasy Fest events. Fantasy Fest is actually a fundraiser for AIDS help. There's a lot more to it than just getting drunk and getting naked and having your body painted on Duval Street. If you go to only one Fantasy Fest event, the Headdress Ball would be the one I would suggest. Some of the costumes and the headdresses are absolutely amazing. There's some true art put behind them. It's not just someone throwing on a mask and painting their boobs and running around getting drunk. There's a lot of art and a lot of creativity and a lot of talent at the Headdress Ball. But enough about Fantasy Fest. This video is about real estate. This is my morning market MLS update video I do every day right about this same time. I report all the new listings in Key West and the lower Keys that have come on the market in the last 24 hours. If you watch this video every day, you'll be ahead of most buyers. You'll know about every new listing from Big Pine Key down to Key West the same day the realtors find out about them. I find most buyers wait for a home to come on to Trulia or Zillow or Realtor.com or one of those websites before they inquire. And a problem they face a lot of times there is by the time some of these websites put a home live online, it's already been on the multiple listing service a couple days and all the good deals are already under contract. If you watch this video and you see something you like, call me immediately. Obviously, I'm up early. I do this video around 6 o'clock, 6:30 every morning. I'll make an appointment for us to go see the home, or if you're not here locally, I'll go see it on your behalf. We can do a walkthrough video or a FaceTime chat call. If you like what you see, we can write up an offer and have you under contract on the home before most buyers ever even knew it was available for sale. You can also get a much more detailed description of these listings, including photographs, if you follow my blog, keywestinvesting.com. There's a lot more information on the blog, a lot more details about the homes, any unique features the home may have. If the home happens to be waterfront, it happens to have a pool, there'll be photos of the pool, photos of the water view, photos of the boat dock edge. There'll be things like projected room uses, room dimensions, photos of the inside of the home, photos of the outside of the home. It's just a lot more information than I can cram into a couple-minute quick YouTube video. Again, that web address is keywestinvesting.com. I caught myself thinking I was saying it wrong. It was keywestinvesting.com. And it's updated every day from the Florida Keys multiple listing service, including photographs. If you like this video and you want to stay current and know what's being listed in the Florida Keys every day at what price, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do a video just like this every morning. And while you're subscribing, please make sure you click that thumbs up like symbol down below. We have 6 new homes to talk about today. But before I tell you about the homes, the state of Florida's legal department has to butt in and make me cover the boring stuff. The information I'm about to give you comes directly from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. I'm not accepting any responsibility for any of these listings. I'm not claiming any of these listings to be my own listings. And I'm not accepting any responsibility if there's any inaccuracies in the information I give you. I'm simply reading it to you right from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. The first property we have is a really nice property, very unique, where it has a transient license. It's a three-bedroom, four-bathroom, 2,160 square foot condo on Simington Street. Simington Street is one block off Duval Street, and this particular one is in the 600 block of Simington, which will put you right about in the middle of Duval Street. You're in the fairly quiet section, but if you want to go down to what we call the party zone, where Sloppy Joe's, Hard Rock, Fat Tuesdays, Rick's, you're not even a 2-minute walk. If you want to go up to the fine dining restaurants or the art galleries or the more quiet bars, instead of going right to the party zone, you go left up to Upper Duval and you're in the quiet. This one, as I said, has a transient license. What that means is you can rent it one day at a time, the same as the way someone would rent a hotel room. The majority of Key West is a 30-day minimum rental period by law unless it has the transient license. There's 3 different types of transient license. There's the ones like this one has, which is the very best. It allows you to rent one night at a time. Some of the transient licenses have a 3-night minimum rental. Other transient licenses have a 7-night minimum rental where you have to rent it a minimum of 7 nights at a time, but that's still far better than the minimum 30 days, which is required by law without a transient license. With this location, that transient license, 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and that much square footage, this place will be a rental powerhouse. It's being offered at $2,200,000, which is an excellent price for a transient condo this size so close to Duval Street. Then we go to Key West's Newtown neighborhood on 19th Street. There's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,528 square foot house. It has a very nice in-ground pool in the backyard. There's a large privacy wall around it. The pool's completely private, can't be seen from anywhere in the street. It's a very nice home. It's a residential neighborhood. Just about everyone that's there are year-round residents. There's very few vacation homes or seasonal homes over on 19th Street. It is, in my opinion, on the very top of the price point. I won't go as far as to call it overpriced, but it's definitely on the high side. It's being offered at $1,820,000. Then we have a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 528 square foot condo in Key West's Newtown on Northside Drive in a condo complex called Santa Clara. Santa Clara is one of the condo complexes. You'll hear me do something you probably never thought you'd ever hear a realtor tell you to do. Don't buy this one. Don't look at it. Stay far, far away. Santa Clara, when it was first built, was originally going to be a senior citizen elderly housing facility. They built the shell of the building, didn't have the roof on it, and just had the concrete walls and the rebar up, and the developer ran out of money. The shell with the exposed rebar sat there for several years, and the building is probably only about 400 yards from the saltwater, from the bay and the harbor. Saltwater and steel are not friends. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term called spalling. It's a very big concrete problem that concrete structures along the ocean have. When the salt air or the salt water hits the rebar being steel will rust because of the salt water. They put the rebar inside the concrete and then let the concrete dry around it to reinforce the concrete structure. So if the rebar is inside the concrete, it rusts, it starts to expand. When it expands, it breaks away the concrete. The Santa Clara building sat for many years 400 feet from the salt water, and the building is up high enough that anything in between it and the salt water was down below it. So they had the salt air coming on it nonstop. They had such bad spalling, the city was talking about actually condemning the building. I was told by one of the city commissioners the only reason they didn't condemn it is because it's one of the few places in Key West that's affordable for the working locals to live in, and they didn't want to displace over 100 families because of the building. So they did go ahead and repair it. But I'm a little concerned about the spalling. I don't think you ever really repair spalling. You put a Band-Aid on it, you temporarily fix it. But when the spalling is that bad, I really think it's unrepairable. If this is a couple small spots, yes, you can repair it. Just going in the building has a very dingy feeling also. It has a housing project feeling, in my opinion. They have a great pool. They have a great tennis court. There's plenty of parking. It's a gated entry, so you can't get in without a gate code. But when the building was about to be condemned just a couple of years ago, and then every single unit had a huge assessment, it was well over $100,000 per unit. I'm just concerned that spalling could come back and either the building could come down, very worst case, or very best case, every owner gets another very big assessment. The reason people buy low-priced properties in Key West is because it's all they can afford. If all of a sudden they get a $150,000 assessment, that would devastate them. This one is offered at $360,000, but the old expression, you get what you pay for. You notice nothing else in Key West is priced that low. Then we go up to Sugarloaf Key and Lower Sugarloaf Key in a subdivision called Sugarloaf Shores. We have a house on Alamanda Drive West. It's on what we call a point lot. What that means, it's on the canal and the open water. It's at the very end of the street, so one side of the yard has the protected boat dockage of the canal, and then the other side has open water and a great open water view. This particular one, being on Alamanda Drive West, has an amazing sunset view from it every night. I sold the house on Hibiscus West, and I've been over there many times to watch the sunset, and it is absolutely beautiful over Sugarloaf Bay. This is a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 1,104 square foot house. It's being offered at $1,199,000, which is extremely low for a point lot house, especially with the sunset view on Lower Sugarloaf. It's only about a 15-minute drive to Key West, but it's in a very quiet area, a very upscale area. The canals are a lot wider than most of the canals in the Lower Keys, so if you're in your backyard, you don't feel like you're staring across the canal into your neighbor's backyard. At $1,199,000, this house is going to sell quickly. So if you want an open water point lot home on Lower Sugarloaf, definitely call me immediately for this one. It's not going to be here long. Then we go up to Kajo Key on John Avery Lane. There's a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 2,638 square foot canal house. This one is in what they call the VE flood zone. All the flood zones are either X, which is the very best, AE, which is the most prevalent and is kind of middle of the road, and VE, which is the very worst. The ongoing joke amongst the insurance companies is VE stands for very expensive when it comes to your flood insurance. This one's it is one lot in from the open water. You get a nice open water view of Kajo Bay. You're not on the open water like the house in Sugarloaf we just discussed, but you're one lot in. But being on a VE flood zone on that section of Kajo Key and being offered at $2,292,500, I think it's very, very overpriced, but that's just my opinion. Then we go to Little Torch Key in a subdivision called Jolly Roger Estates on Buccaneer Road. There's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 841 square foot canal front home. Jolly Rogers is a very popular subdivision. It's very big with the boaters because you have deeper boating, deeper controlling depth coming into the canal system. You can get bigger boats in there. I've seen people with a small sport fisherman, 40-ish foot sport fisherman. I've seen smaller sailboats go in and out of there. It goes right into Newfound Harbor, which is the deepest and widest boating channel in all of the Lower Keys. And right in the canal system in Jolly Roger Estates, there's a full-service marina with the boat ramp, fuel dock, ship store. They sell bait and tackle, beer, wine, soft drinks, snacks and goodies, sunblock, T-shirts, fishing gear, anything you'd need for a day on the water. You pass right by it before you get out into Newfound Harbor if you're leaving the canal in this house. It's being offered at $775,000, which is an extremely low price for a canal front house in Jolly Roger. You definitely want to take a look at this one. It's worth looking at. It's very low priced. I don't expect this one to be around long either. And that's all we have for today. If you want to take a look at any of these homes or any home anywhere in the Florida Keys, give me a call at 305-731-0501. And don't forget to check out my blog, keywestinvesting.com. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty.